Hello, everybody. How are you doing? So I know that it has been a active. Some people who may be noticing, others won't, that things have been pretty active on this channel. I've had a lot of time actually to dedicate to it. I'm in a new environment. Oh, and one thing, this thing dies fast, and I'm so glad I noticed that. So, okay, first of all, not the main theme of this. Well, actually, I'm gonna wait, and I'll try and remember to mention it in when somebody tunes in. Hopefully, before I've started. Okay. So I don't know if this door will keep it falling that way. I suppose I just happen to have it open. Okay. So I'm going to explain this project a little bit, but I don't want to say too much. And honestly, I don't know it all. And that's, I mean, who does, right? And that's kind of throughout, well, much of the videos, but this one, always. I just went through something that is like any NDE that I would call it that, I think, that I've ever experienced. And so this is, I think, I could have went on the internet and had a lovely old time like usual, and hopefully this will classify it into that. But I just a moment want to get my slippers now that I found them. And it may or may not be a part two. Aside from possibly receiving the groceries, and I don't know if it's a small list. We can do 2 small lists, and we shop on Walmart online. But it's we can do that so that I can have that, but as well as maybe work on part 2 of this. I don't know how much lead up I should give to it. I really don't. Like there was something I said before I started this, and I thought, oh, he's going to be wondering, what's unfolding, but then I've been through times not like this, but I've been through times where it's kind of like, I don't know, it reminded me of something, but I don't even know if I know how to describe it. So, nobody's in here yet, but they're going to think I'm doing a late night cooking show. And they'd be right. No, just kidding. They were if I still need to make dinner, which I haven't had a lot, but I've had a little, yeah. So, this is for Acquire, this shirt, by the way. So, I don't know, kind of, improvising is freestyle, and the viewer left. And, I don't know what to say. I realize that, I honestly think this might not be my first video of such where, these things need to be watched more. I've got to try and be mindful, should be watched more than once, perhaps, because, there can be a lot to, take in as we get to viewers. Welcome. So basically, this is part 1, I think, because I might want to explore this more. And I only have probably about 25, at most 45, but at least 25. So I have a little bit of leeway. So I don't often put descriptions to my videos, like a title, yes, but not a description. It's short. Both of you went at the same time. They're like, I want to listen. I don't want to read. That's something I've been finding in my channel and not even fully being aware of it. But actually, it's interesting because online there was a group and somebody posted, and I'm like not in the comedy world. I don't like bars, this and that. And she's from Ontario, and she said something about, does anybody know any? She's obviously never been here, and maybe doesn't know anybody here. It kind of fits with the thing, and you might have to, I don't know if I can maybe put this in a playlist. I'll try and figure it out. If not, just come back to this channel, look for part 2, They're not going to unfold super quickly, I don't think. Or if they do, I just got to go with where the inspiration hits. This is a new purpose. And you know what? I thought about it a couple of times recently. I'm creating my legacy. We're always doing that, whether we're living online and when we're living in person. It's all about making your legacy. And this is mine, to be creative, to be a storyteller, to tell about the craziness of life, the good, the beautiful, the not so beautiful. That's what we all have. Like you on the left, but and it, not only is it humor, but I never would have necessarily expected that I actually kind of feel like it's also empathy. Now, part of this night was very stressful because people were forgetting how empathetic they are, the two in this home. But we really are, for each other, for the world. We've got big hearts. I don't want to, but and I'm sure he'll be curious about this. I hope, if in a moment of panic, I'm hoping he'll end it well, be able to watch it later. It'll be a story to tell, perhaps. Well, it will be either way. I just don't know what I'll be doing in the playback. Boom, 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 boom. Well, it almost feels like I'm in a show. And we need a good laugh at the end tonight. I can have my voice as an entertainer, and if I can't get to the gigs, as I don't drive. If I can't get to the gigs, this is on the spot, because the world is full of lots of lovely, beautiful people. I may be a little bit jealous, but I got to be happy for them. They're getting lots of opportunities. There's only so much to go around sometimes. Well, you know what? I can do a show on YouTube. Okay. I'm not having it unplug that long. This is rough. That's what improvising is. It's on the spot. And he thought of somebody who, and actually that comedian was from Toronto too. So I'm doing this on a laptop. I'm filming it. I'm creating it all with my own skill or lack thereof, while trying to be careful of the laptop. So if you've seen the title, you know this is improvised. What does that make me think of? Many great times watching Who's Line with Glenn. This is a shared channel. Going to a theater festival with my mother, who I had a fallout with, and something she would never have probably went to before, or went to and had never went to. I'd been going for 15 years. I don't want to miss it. It's a part of my summer. Glenn doesn't know this. That, yes, we see each other. And I, not that long ago, heard of a story of a musician and performer, artist, who had the story. And I mean, we always got to do what feels best as life unfolds and take time to make the decision. But basically, yeah, I may have talked about it a little bit. Don't remember what it was called. It was a few weeks ago. I need to sit soon. But basically, this woman, she passed away. No, she'd had an up and down relationship with her mother too. They shared a lovely time at the Fringe Festival. And maybe the right person will see this and help me get it in there next year. Here's hoping. Anywho, or maybe I won't need the help, but don't we all sometimes? Anywho. Hi, Dad. Dad likes horses. Dad worked with horses. Anywho. So basically, this has only been 10 minutes. Woo! It's just like earlier. It was like just about 9:30. It was 9:37. I thought it was like 10:15. Time moves so fast, but so slow sometimes. And anywho, then the young one passed away. I just channeled my first child with my medium ability in the previous video. Check it out. It's already in theaters. It's not for entertainment, but it is for healing. And you know what? If I can put my artsy, creative, musical side to it, that should shine, as well. It's all about perspective, folks. Going in order. Wasn't planning to do that. None of this is planned. It's improvised. Woo! Can this reach to plug it in? Good thing this is not actual virtual fringe. And I know it maybe doesn't, but you know what? I'm doing my best with what I have for me right now. I don't need to ask. I can figure this out. I don't need to ask. I'll figure out what it's about. I feel like I'm walking and I'm missing a shoe. It fell sideways and I don't know what to do. The dog probably has the other, but now I have the other. I put one on and then the other. I'm sorry, I just saw a blue light flash by our fridge, and and somebody just came in. It's like a theater thing just happened. It's like, Spirit, what is it? I put one on and then the other, always walking in people's shoes. I don't think I'd be able to perform this ever actually one day because I sometimes worry about my memory and my anxiety. But one thing I've learned in my theater writing process, the little that I've done, is that, you know what? If you feel like you have to use the script as a prop, that was my first show actually that I did. American Anthropos, so the word of the evening lately of Facebook. I should try and download it actually. Well, I can, and actually maybe that's what came up recently because we sent it to him. I do remember that. So look at it, download it. It was my first, and it won't be my last. I need some fan, cause it's getting cool in here. I need some fan, cause I'm kinda hot. Woo! This isn't OnlyFans, but I know that I've got the stuff. Yeah, I've got I don't know. So, it'll be interesting what point he comes in on, and then TBC, and I hope I'll be able to sleep. You know what? I was tired. It's like, what's that? Whose Line game? And I was actually thinking about somebody who I knew, old worker, hadn't thought of it in quite a while actually. And so I'm just going to close this. Keep the dog trying to spin down as we get here. And she had Colin Mochry's face. He's from Whose Line Is It Anyway? On the side of her desk. And for some reason I thought of her today. It all connects, folks. In one way or another, it all connects. He has a little bit of money he usually doesn't have. Life hasn't always been fair since he lost his dad. He has circulation issues. This is improv at its most improv-y, perhaps, but whatever. And actually, that's what the show was, improv, of an old teacher. I'm going back and I'm making my own theater. I've tried to do music. I've done talk, whatever you want to call it, therapy, wisdom, verbal releases, channeling. I've done a lot of stuff. And what I haven't done, and what I sometimes wondered, I would love a mid-sized crowd in person, but when I hear something and distract me, and it's in my mind erasing, that reminds me of when, right? I'm not who I used to be. I am who I'm now. I'm not young. Before I forget, we might not be able to figure this out tonight, but little intermission break. Glenn, he, this laptop, of course, it's his window. I have a few, although it's doing it with one or two of mine as well. It's a Chrome. It's crashed a couple times today. It usually doesn't, even without open. It's Chrome, and I think it's an Asus. And I'm wanting to ask, nobody's watching right now, but I want to ask anybody who has technical ability. This is from our sponsors at I'm wearing a sheet and asking for tech support at 10:05 only, not 10:30, on a 10:05 on a Tuesday night, and I can't wait for Monday morning. I was just saying earlier how I can cover maybe little snippets that fit into the inspiration and the creativity, although I have seen actual theater done and not snippets. Now, the person that just tuned in and wondering, why am I wearing a sheet? It was for the commercial intermission and the next scene in this improvised theater. But I was asking a tech question. It was about the 16:10 mark, and I jammed a lot in 16 minutes, and you may think, oh, but what have I missed? And you've already left, so you aren't thinking that. Are you thinking it? Just kidding. But that's the thing. In laughing it off, adding empathy. It's kind of like someone who I may be related to has a lot in common with me and has a wife who is a medium. And it's where she's able to use her want for connection, her want to heal. If she's legit, seems like she's doing all right. Not big and great. Kind of, maybe this is the blonde lady from the other day. I think she may have been, although I'd never met her. I'll have to look into that. Jenny something, Amy Bishop. I was thinking about the name Amy the other day. I said, no, the pastor type of Amy. And such and such and such and such. I'm Burke, and he's successful. Why can't I be? And I have a hole in that bucket, and there's a hole in the bucket. Anybody who's ever been to theater? Well, maybe I will wait to say this. Maybe I will wait, after all. But I don't want Sonny and Glenn to come down here later. Sometimes he stays up there, but he might come down here out of curiosity, or I don't know. They want to tell him to put the fan on because most of this is the show. Some of it just my mind got distracted. I have ADHD. Woohoo! And just in general, why not? I'll have to tell about this one. Or if I don't tell her, I might tell our viewers because I'm hoping to be on our show soon. But back to life is short for all of us and never guaranteed. I pray for my friends. This isn't hugely religious. Just know that, the person that came in. And one of them is this great friend that I recently made who has inspired me, showed me. I know that there are good, caring people out there, but she has showed me, amazing if she did this when she was here once, so maybe she will in the future. Well, no, actually, I'm not seeing her Sunday, but yeah, she might be in the future, and she'll probably do the same number from a certain video. Who has encouraged me, who has, I've had her on my podcast. I'm going to soon be on hers. So many great things can be said, and I just want to say thank you. But basically, I might die tonight, but probably not. So let's not think about that. Let's just cherish the fact that I probably won't. And if I do, I'm doing something that I love, that I enjoy. Oh my God. Funny because of the flying connection to this, because of the previous video, because of what happened tonight. Hello, sun. I need a halo. I need a lighting technician to make this look like a halo. Look like a halo. I can be a halo. And he says, hello, sun. What's most important in life is that you do what you love and enjoy, that you're comfortable with, and that you can do. The world's come a long way. And it's been a while since I've referenced this. Not super long, but before then quite a while. It's always been there a little bit. I said that to someone just the other day, Michelle, I think actually, and I said it's always kind of been there, but it's kind of like I should remind myself of it again. So thank you, Dad, for bringing it up again. Somebody was briefly here, and then this is the internet. So all kinds of crazy people, but this is really just creative improv, and the world's come a long way in accepting people's differences and challenges. Don't be scared to live life. Things would be okay. Love, Dad. Who are you going to date? Who is he going to date? He's going to have to get a job and move out on his own and start his life, and I'm very eager to see that in the man that I've raised. So he's got all these things. He's trying to make these decisions. I hate making decisions. It's so hard. I heard him say so much, even when times were good. Reminder, this is improvised. So even if it's seeming like, wow, this is really good, and then it slows down, I'm tired and it's improvised. Somebody was here and they're like, well, I didn't want to slow down. I want to speed up. Come on. Life's happening before us. It's unfolding. I'm not saying, even though I don't handle change, but I have reasons. I have reasons to be here. I have reasons to be here. You have reasons to be here. Man, next time they call, and if he's on the line, I'm saying, go to YouTube. YouTube this. Because anytime you ever talk to this guy again, I think of the whole thing, but here's your answer. It's kind of like, I'm gonna party. And I heard this earlier. I'm gonna rock and roll all night. I hope. It's like looking for career, looking for help, looking for a path. Gotta show you who. Always looking, always looking. Earth angel. Man, because my ADHD brain is perfect for this. I'm realizing only 20 minutes in. My goodness. Will you be mine? I thought of this the other day. I will be yours. Love you till the end of time. I might be mixing two songs together, but it's all good. Elvis playlist didn't have much Elvis in it. I'm glad he rise up. He's got a gospel background. Rise up singing. I need a lot of energy for this, but it's a pacing, It's all about pacing, right? That's something I learned in my theater days of my youth, or at least in my 20s, when life was better and a lot more funny. But sometimes it's scary, and you want to hide under the sheets. Bringing this into a little bit more of tonight, specifically. Hi. This is not going to be creepy or scary. Well, maybe a little weird. Improvised. So it's not going to be creepy or scary. People don't like that kind of thing. I'm so nice. The person stayed. They're like, oh, yeah, I know it's going to be a, people lie all the time on the internet. Soup trip. That's a weird recipe. I wonder what that's about. This is a very good short preview to be expanded on. We can collab if you like. Whistle, birds. Green. The sky is blue. The sky is falling. When the sky falls, we will stand tall and face the world together as the sky falls. Does anybody have my special effects camera and equipment? I've got to make my next big film. Yeah, it's my 10th, but, who's counting? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, so I was watching this thing, and this guy, he, falls into, an abyss, and, that must have cost a lot of money to make that scene, man. Yeah. Take It's so peaceful here. It's so quiet. It's almost driving me nuts. I won't be able to stay more than a couple of days. Maybe even just one. I can't be away from the dog and my partner. You know, I miss home. I knew I'd feel that. You know, I so need a vacation, but I probably wouldn't want to stay long. Maybe I should go. We never know what life is going to bring us, and we gotta make the most of it. We gotta appreciate it, because short film 45 minutes. Did that work? Probably sooner. Anyway. Oh, cool! The piano man's coming tonight. Right on. Anyway, we gotta appreciate life, because it's really not guaranteed. We can think that we are invincible. Can't think of another word like it at the moment. Or that, oh, we're healthy, we're good. Look it up. Look it up. Look at all the ways that people look at the crazy things that happen. This is the world we're talking about, It's not all sunshine, cover me in sunshine. Anyway, so, I have spent a lot of time at that couch. It needs its moment in the glory of this improvised show. He's left for work. Some time for myself. This is closer, so I'm using this. This is the couch, people. This is the couch, people. That's still plugged in. Perfect. Did I finish asking, by the way? So we somehow got his not only minimized, but it's there. It's there, and we can't get it on the screen. We just see it along the bottom when we hover over it. A couple of them we could, hence why you're seeing this. Meant to be, I suppose. Maybe it'll fix itself by morning. He falls asleep pretty quickly, but I don't want to keep him awake. Like, what's part 2 going to be like? And I don't know if I want to keep myself awake with it, too. So this may not be a finished piece. That may just need a little bit of polishing, that I could do something, it's me in it. So, I understand this is the internet. There's all kinds of people. And I just got to say, for anybody who's thinking of, I'm totally fine with a lot of this inspiring you. But if anybody is thinking of completely plagiarizing this, making it theirs, you have no idea how special this is to me. I had no idea as I'm doing this here. And basically, make your own content, find other hobbies, like you say. And I completely, am fine with if things about this resonate and you're creative and I had a talk with a random lady named Mia tonight. And it was reminded as well. And basically, I can't tell if it's going to be, but that's something, pacing. Yeah, I learned it and I forgot it long ago. Same with life, same with breathing. Like the inhale video is about channeling the spirit of someone met through an inhaler. Yeah, seriously, folks. I mean, I tell you, I don't know if I surprise myself anymore, but maybe sometimes I do. It's like, wow, I am a little bit of everything. Everything good, of course. Like, I mean, it's interesting that I'm sitting under here and this looks a bit like a halo. Like, I don't mean to boast or brag about myself, and and I'm fine, and I am feeling physically better, and I have a couple times, and I've only worn this shirt a couple times, and I was totally going to sleep in it, but it's kind of sweaty, and I might have to change it. Sign in. There's signs in a lot of stuff, most of the time. You take care of each other, and take care of each other. I barely remember her saying. Right. I'm missing something here. Anywho, signal's weak. You too, and those close to you. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Wow, I thought I'd seen everything at this job. Oh. Interesting. He'd wanted to, he'd worked in a call center. She'd worked in call centers. She worked in mental health. she had been on the, shall we call it, receiving end. And if you're tuning in now and you're wondering, what have I missed? Whatever. But basically, to anybody that sees this after the fact, well, then you've seen it to the beginning. But anywho, somebody was tuning in for a moment. I think of a playwright when I think of the name Maya and Claude Puck, which came up tonight. And Jackie, which came up early, but one of them came up earlier today. And, I guess you never know who might be on YouTube because they're just looking to unwind from this life, to be entertained, to enter another life or another portal, even if just briefly. And so, no, but if this had a two-way camera, I could go in there because why am I seeing... Oh, I thought I was seeing the kitchen behind me. Sorry, and I was like, I was going to go... Well, I could still, but it wouldn't necessarily look authentic. Focus, you were talking about a couch. Talking about a couch. Yeah, so, I mean... maybe I'll do it here because the lighting might be a bit better. I really didn't think after all, but you know what? I'm energized because I'm a performer. I'm finding healing. I'm finding possibly answers in this. But what I'm not finding is my cold water. And I haven't... Did I put it back in the fridge? No, I haven't went... Now this is the guy looking for his water. Because water is important in life. And breathing and a home. And at least one or two loved ones. Or at least someone to follow. Why is this suddenly so small? Okay, that was bizarre. It might be used. I actually contacted somebody or commented on their post today. Let me just adjust this lighting a little bit here. And basically they do what I think they were calling stop animation. Watch it be them that just tuned in here. If it's not, that's fine. And I don't know why they call it that. I got an interesting flip book today. I mentioned in one of my other videos, and man, is it ever a flip book? So as you're flipping through your Facebook and you're scrolling on your Insta and you're watching the YouTube, ask yourself, what have you done today to make you feel proud? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. The sequel would be the things that maybe I want to do with the things that I didn't expand on or veered from or whatever. I have to sit. This homeostasis. Anyway, but she got to the blonde lady. I don't know. Watch the Obitman. But the other day, this blonde lady was coming up. And where's my hat now? In all his worldly possessions, any of ours, again, think of pleasant things, think of salt falling on the floor. Think of snow. Think of spring. Think of me waiting. Channeling his theater teacher in small town Ontario. What about in America? In America. That's random. No, I don't want to go there. Trump's there. No offense. This is supposed to be for everybody. Just be my viral. It hasn't had a lot of viewership, but it's had some. But anywho, this is, sometimes you got to face your fears and look goofy to tell a story. I'll do this. You know what? End of the show, or at least end of this one, will be when he comes down, because we have to wrap up the night eventually. That being behind my head makes me think I want to be singing, and I did actually. Oh, what have I went through with hair today? Thinking of another theater class, an old video I saw recently. Give me head with hair, shoulder length or longer. Da, 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 hair. Oh, what a great memory that was. Singing that. My grandparents hadn't been to a lot of my performances. I grew up in Ontario. They were in another province. But they, we'd see them at Christmas or whatever. But sometimes not often. Sometimes we'd go there, sometimes we'd go here. Little did I know I would end up living here and having to go through a 6-month, very cold winters. I wasn't built for that. But I always made it through. 18 years I've been here now. Man, I feel like I'm doing really. And hasn't that been my dream? And do I have to rely on anybody but YouTube sometimes? And the good thing is I think I will be able to sleep because I'll be tired. And from the day, from what transpired before this to this, and say I've been a bit sweaty. Doesn't take much sometimes, so I might have to change my shirt and just definitely relax. Luckily, I don't feel a hugely sore throat. So now, but I have been wanting to have water for a while, and the only one I'm seeing is that one that cooled up. This is the craziest thing, and it's pissing me off. I mean, I don't know if we're going to get this done today, but we'll try it. But, okay, here's the water. Things are never far. In this whole creation, we misplace some pieces. I was hearing something actually earlier today about, it's like in and out of improv, but it's all improvised, about puzzles. In fact, it's very interesting, the sequel. Oh my God. Again, my rate list is shorter and I'm cheaper, much cheaper, but she's lovely. And I know she's got a good soul, but basically, nobody's watching right now, so I could go up, but when he comes down, I'm going to go up. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to do a couple other little things. I mean, I've been breathing this whole time. Again, I recommend on this channel not to toot my own bugle, as I say, but the one about an inhaler. You're thinking, what on earth is it? Asthma education? Is it entertainment? Is it an out of body experience? You have to check it out. But this is improvised. It's sort of in and out of improv, and it's kind of based on, well, a lot of my life. Obviously not all of it, not all 38 years, but a lot of my life, my current situations, trying to figure out the next. And so I was watching a Long Island Medium video, and she said something about, and I think I've heard her use this analogy before, man, earlier today I had a hood on, but I think I find it too warm, like I'm just starting to cool off. But I don't know why. I mean, it feels weird to not have my hat on. But sometimes, we got to shed some things. Again, when we give it some reflection and it makes sense, we got to shed some things to, I don't know exactly how to say it, but one thing I'll say is it's so hard. People want to have sense of control. They want to have expectations, and then they want to have them met, right? And it all makes sense at the time, or at least it makes sense to want it. But, it's kind of like life, whether you believe in higher power or whatever, has a way of doing stuff. And so Teresa said, and then it kind of inspired, but then it was its own experience, its own podcast, the video previous to this, and then something happened in our home, and then it inspired this. And I guess this might even be part 2, because I think the end of part 1 might be the end of the phone call. But it's crazy. It's still only 40 minutes. I think he's going to be downstairs soon. I mean, it's a work day tomorrow for him. I think this would be very healing for me to watch back. I don't know if I should drink that as well. And take breaks where I'm thinking of my next great show. My life is great in some ways, and I was reminded, a few times throughout the night, that, about gratitude and everything. And it is, earlier I was going to tell a story about having a run-in with a homeless person, and something I've been so wanting to do is buy them a beverage. And it wasn't just that I wasn't exactly where I thought that it would happen. you don't have all the answers sometimes. I mean, but I was thinking earlier about, well, podcasting probably, I think. Not that it's all I do, but it's kind of like a day in the life, and actually sometimes literally, and, one video after another. Again, whether it's digitally on screen or in life, I'm sure I've heard, if my life were a movie, and, we all say that for different reasons, perhaps, but, maybe make it so. While I was on a phone call with somebody, my eye caught that I was thinking about bucket lists. I recommend also Max and Me, and then come back to this channel. Let me know what you think of it. It's free on here, without ads as well. I do apologize if there's been ads in this. There's a new setting. I don't entirely understand it, but it almost seems as if there's no way around it. And for the first time, because she stayed a while, because I was somewhat familiar with her, in one of my recent videos, somebody said, "Oh, an advert came and interrupted our connection for a moment." And it's like, okay, because when I watch them back, sometimes not in full or all at once, I don't always see adverts. Mine are, and I don't have an ad blocker. My phone actually seems to be pretty good with that. I would really like to be under the sea. I miss me. What's y'all? It's a creator. We're both kind of we're creators. We're both also kind of essential. So there's currently no water in the fridge. Okay. Is that raining? 10:32. Yeah, I'll start wondering about him in 10:45. Such a T. When do you play the piano? Should I let that be a part of it? No one's here to tell us, so we'll just have to roll with it, like life. Again, reflect on decisions. Think about what's best for both. Think about why. Come to some middle ground. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but as of, I'd already had it for a while. So as of a couple months ago, for whatever reason, a certain someone became, I'm not going to give all the details, and I'm sure not to sound racist or whatever. Well, not just black women, though. I'm sure that there's a lot, and you know what? But whatever. This is maybe giving I'm okay to say myself some credit, because I should. Maybe we all should, because we've been through a lot of stuff. Like I said earlier, good and beautiful, and sometimes not. And so and I don't mind making connections, although I will say my messenger is not working properly at this time. But I'm not sure. I'm thinking, and if people notice it, they notice it, but then I'm also thinking maybe doing it here is the best way, because then only who hears it will hear it, and otherwise they won't know. I don't mind, I said it earlier today, being somewhat anonymous, but also very authentic, and, the right people will know. This is a shared channel, and so we both have agreed to that. And I don't know if there'll be a part 2, but what I was trying to say, which led kind of into that, was a certain somebody was saying, and I'm learning a lot in doing this, and I didn't know what I would watch tonight. I was going to show them some of the videos I did earlier in the day and some of the channel, and we started one kind of two. We jumped around a bit last night too, those videos, and maybe I hope still too, because they were pretty special. But I think tonight, this one, because it's most recent, it's most raw. But you know what? I don't think it's really a bad thing. Unfortunately, we won't be able to watch it all tonight. They do process pretty quickly, but it is, again, a work night for one of us. And so, and I don't know. I mean, falls asleep fast, and I sometimes do, but it's kind of like, well, I'm getting a lot of ideas out. And I amaze myself sometimes how much energy I have, but I don't think I'll have much after tonight to start thinking about part 2. Sometimes I wake up and I say, oh, you know what, I could sleep in for another hour before I actually have to start the day. But then if I take the device out, or this morning I actually showered, And I know that sounds weird, but like, I am not the busiest at this point in time in my life for various reasons. And so, I have a bath every night, but sometimes I will skip a shower. But I had something that I was going to go to today that got canceled. And it was inspired by someone I talk about fairly often on here. And one of the videos earlier today showed, and it's not delirium, it's just, okay, I don't have a lot more time with this one. I want to try to wrap it up, blah, blah, blah. But basically showed, and this might be her help in kind of wrapping this up. Oh, I'm sensing something. I'm sensing the ending first, but ending this in a sequential order. I mean, because it all fits together and makes sense for me in my life, and hopefully elements of it have for you in yours, or you're able to understand how it does for me in mine. And that's, I guess, my goal. Sorry about that light. I know it's annoying. I'm going to actually turn it off, and that's fine. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so it's very, okay, so again, like I say, I hope that all spoke for itself. Thanks everybody who sees this later. And if it's not soon, be patient. That's something I've learned a lot in life too. It's so hard. But life's going to require you to be. Life requires you to do be a lot of things. So, and you know what? If there is a part 2, maybe in the next couple of days, like look at how easy this was. I don't know. Improvise might be the best way to get the best results, because then I don't have to keep track of papers, make sure I don't spill something on them, make sure I can make out what it says later. Such and such. You know what? They say be in the present. That's all over the internet right now. And they also say, moment by moment, go with the flow. So that's what this is. It's working with what life was bringing to me in a creative way. So it incorporated elements of tonight. I might put that in the description, or maybe I will come in mine, or whatever, something to do today, tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to want to sit in order, but maybe I say, can we just place small, because there's a couple things I really, really need and want to order, and then in a few days place another one. So then I'll have this project to work on. I'll have that. I don't think I had anything else other than kind of keeping my head above water, so to speak. And I feel like I heard something about that recently. I can't remember in what context or whatever, but and I tired after doing this, tired after the day and the night that I've had, so many things that I can say about our journey, what it made me feel. And we're never the only ones that will feel certain things going through certain situations in life, and we just have to feel the feels, as we would say, Rochelle. And then I was going to say, look at some steps to plan for the future, but then I feel like she's kind of like, it's not feeling her energy quite in the same way I'm used to, but she's kind of just saying, and hold on tight. Life is short. Don't dilly-dally. Where was that sign when I needed it? Right there. No, because seriously, who needs a crew, right? Because seriously, though, it almost came up 2 or 3 times in this video, and a couple times I haven't even noticed that it was going to. But basically, I don't know, this is a look, but there's reason for it. I mean, we did some laundry. I didn't need to take everything up right now. I just wanted to grab the sheet for the bed. But basically, and you can watch this in sections from the beginning as you're able to. But so thankful that someone's tuned in as I'm kind of wrapping up, but I might still be going for at least 10 minutes. I'm not sure. But they're like, well, I've got 10 minutes. And they leave. Or they're like, yeah, you know what? I'll watch this later. Or you know what? They're like, it doesn't have any views or reactions, can't be that great, or whatever. Some people out there, and I may be surprised, may find this and end up possibly binging it, staying up till 3 a.m. and on the day of an exam. What other human experiences are there, that and now I can't even remember the reason I was looking at that. Made sense in the moment. And sometimes life will. and sometimes it won't make sense in the moment. Yeah, I'm gonna do what I want to do because life's learning experience and yeah, I think sometimes we don't even know what to do. When I'm looking up, that's talking to the above. Who am I talking to? I don't know, but where's that thing? But yeah, one thing that popped up in this, and again, sometimes I think you can tell. It's like when I'm channeling, and I can tell it in my mind a lot of times, but I can also kind of tell it when I'm hearing it back in the videos, and that's something I can maybe mention on Sunday in the podcast too. But it's kind of like, I don't know, kind of like I don't even know. Wish that was making me think of a song. 3 minutes can go so slow. 3 minutes can last so last. 10:41. I think you'll hear piano in the not too distant future. Past, present. What a gift! It's a present that I have to bring the music into the music and the music of the night. That was to talk about skill. That was to talk about life as a gift. Life is like a gift. I think about the person who I got to sing that for on the I'll just say it's all good, nothing to be distressed about. From what I know now, put your hands in the wind. I played Pink for her too. I don't get out much. I was walking past the place. This is the second person from that place that's come into it. I couldn't get through tonight, but I was thinking ironically earlier, not knowing that I might try and call them. How long it's been, except for company recently, since it's more for company. Let's go to a certain place. And now 2 people from there are coming up. And if they recognize me, maybe she's watching this. She doesn't use social media. She might do email. And there was, what type of device did she not have? But this was years ago. And she's in her 40s or 50s. And it would be, please, Suzanne, or anybody, if you think you know her that sees this, please know that I'm doing this imitation out of love. I sometimes I wonder about her because I know that if she ever, well, when she passes away, we all do. Big part of the theme tonight, good golly, but not something to dwell too much on when you need to get a restful sleep. But I would say so much great things about someone I met in this life named Suzanne. Suzanne was a lady who was so charismatic. She was laid back and always so kind. If you're left, that's not very kind. She helped people when they were going through stresses and struggles of the mind. I got to know her for many years. And although, and really not a much bad thing to say, I don't see her much. We've kind of lost touch, but she's never faded away. Oh, yeah, Corey. Oh, yeah. Oh, you do, eh? So how's such and such? Oh, that's great. Charismatic. Empathic. Curious. You could say a few words, but like another of my new friends, like anybody who is that way to anybody, my goodness, the impact they can make on our life, right? Who has inspired you through your life? Start with one, list as many as you want, take your time doing it. But I'd love to read in the comments because that's another idea I have. A while back as a musician, I got the idea, so I've had aching muscles, but I got the idea to write a album or something based on people in my life that have passed away. Because I am a creative type of person. I can do it in this form too, though. Like, seriously, you know what? You got to go with the flow. Somebody said under one of my videos the other day, kind of just flow with the song. And you got to do it with life too. My gosh, and it's so stressful. And we had somebody there for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I understand that may have been really deep, and may have been like, okay, that's as much as I need for now. Just like, and please, so if you can at all, possibly. Well, he's going late, but he didn't start that late. Well, maybe it was 9:40, 9:50. Okay, by 11, I'm 10:50. I'm seeing, but he may think it sounded so good, but now I just want to go to bed. Because life happens like that, and routines get thrown out of whack sometime. But I mean, they're so helpful to have in life. Like they money. This is where the monetization comes in. Get away. No, I want to say that. What are some other songs about money? Let's do them. Woo! But right now, I'm just trying to wrap this up in a way where I feel. I mean, I guess I could just any way that it wraps up say, okay, that's good for season 1, or that, or for episode 1, or that's good for what's this called? Whoa, boom, 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 boom. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. I said, what? What is it good for? Imagine if they came down now. Because what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing. Sometimes there's just too little love. Love me tender, love me true. And they love to watch The Price is Right. And they love to play piano. But you know what? This is what tonight was all about. And I'll try and summarize it. And he hasn't came down, and a half. And oh no, that's like fine. I'll try and summarize it for me. And maybe it's gonna summarize this thing. It's been said already a few times. Life is, anything can happen to any of us at any time. So cherish those you have in your life. Cherish what you have, even though it may be hard sometimes. It looks like it's there on the camera, but it's here. It's here, and it's tender. Like a steak. But that was a cow. But it's ironic because the Lion King being mentioned in the previous video. It's a circle of life, and it moves us all. I saw Lion King in Toronto. Through faith and hope. And faith and love. Till we find our place on the path unwinding. It's the circle. 5 minutes ago. The circle of life. I have thought this damn thing was going to end 4 or 5 times by now. And it really does have to. But I believe it's that same song. This is so ironic, and like I say, not planned. The previous video, it mentioned the Lion King. I think it may have applied for the reason that it was brought up then. I was also thinking about Leanne recently, but actually two Leannes now come up. And this almost looks like, it's not what it is, and I'm not going to show it. But from the angle that I was seeing it, this thing on our fridge, it almost looked like a lion with like a green glow or whatever, a jade lion. In fact, I was at Ed Mervis's restaurant and we saw the Lion King. Oh, Marie, am I going to find your thing there? Oh, the mystery came up earlier in this. Anywho. Some of us fall to the wayside. Some of us soar through the stars. Some have to live with our trouble. That's an enlightening, Sonny. Some have to live with the scars. Sonny, okay. I really do need to see the dog, though. I don't know what how that came out kind of what it was at the moment, to be quite honest. But I forgotten. See, that's the thing, when I get really involved in something, I don't have to stop and be. I really did earlier, though, a couple of occasions, and it was like, what am I just emptying the system forever? But I heard something fall, and it's probably the thing. But he's got to be done soon. I don't, he didn't start that late what he was doing, and so he's usually only doing it for an hour. So it's been about that. So, what am I gonna do to wrap up this before part 2? I'm gonna go and what is that? What am I seeing there? Oh, it's the light on the wall, on the stretch. Body works. Which actually reminds me of the CR page. I thought it was. I don't know why I'm obviously tired. Wouldn't you be? But and the day I've had, which didn't go completely as planned, and it was kind of but it was great and fast and lovely, and if it was my last, I'd be live like you and I, and it can be small things too. And if it was, I had a really great sandwich, even though I didn't get to go to a group I wanted to go to, which, was to learn life, honor life, and to, because I might relate, never happened in life. I found myself in a place that I wasn't meant to be at today entirely, maybe in the future. And then I found myself, and you find yourself, going and getting a sandwich, truffle beet. Oh my God, I served that to him today. Whoever and watched this to the end, or yesterday, because she's almost over locally, but truffle beet, with a little bit of money I had, I treated myself, and I always got to treat yourself, and sometimes it's harder than other times. And I'm wondering what treats I might have in store. And I wonder what treats you might have in store. Maybe we'll be able to share both them with each other. Because, if you could summarize life, and what a great time to get a viewer, because this is an interesting question, but they left, so whatever. But if I could summarize life, because this whole thing has been part of the movie of my life, of our life, if you're watching this, and you have experienced it, and the interconnectedness of us all, somewhere down the line. Further along, we'll understand it. Further along, we'll understand why. I don't do a lot of acapella. I've said that a couple times recently, but I can, because I'm musical. Here I'm my brother. Try to find items, put things back into where they usually are a few times. Let me help you, my brother. Let me help you. Sit in the sunshine, all about it. By and by, tempted and tried. I can't understand what's going on, what the words are to this song. Stay tuned for part 2. Never thought that's how I was going to end it.